En soos altyd lekker om aan die atleet te hê, die coach Lindie, lekker om jou hier te hê. Goeiemiddag en welkom weer.
Goeiemiddag al die luisteraars, heerlik, dit is so lekker. Dit is altyd warm hier by julle.
Ag, dankie. Ja, en môre moet jy maar eintlik kom kuier want dan gaan jy nodig hê om warm te kry, hoor. So jy is welkom. Môre sit ons hier. Die lugreëling is op warm gestel môre. Maar jy het jou gas saamgebring, Johannes Jacobs van Flagship Solar. Stel hom voor en laat waai. Wil graag hoor wat hy te sê het.
Yeah, we've had so many interesting guests, but I was especially looking forward to having a conversation today with Johannes Jacobs from Flagship Solar. Welcome, Johannes.
Hello, Lindie. How are you?
Excellent, thank you. Looking forward to spending some time with you. So, Flagship Solar, it's in the name, but maybe just tell us a little bit about what is it that you guys specifically add to value? I mean, what do you do?
So we do all of the renewable energies with a strong focus on efficiency first principles. We fix where the power is going as well as where it is coming from. So it's just
that's
like
interesting. Okay,
you wouldn't try and carry a bucket full of water up a tall hill if you have a bucket full of holes. So we'd fix the holes first before you fill the bucket.
Oh, okay. I love that. So, renewable energy, and then, so just give us some idea of what are some of the products or services then forms part of your offering to the market?
We do, nowadays we do mostly solar photovoltaic with lithium batteries, but we also do solar geysers, heat pumps, and we're starting to do some research into wind turbines. Which we might do in the future. But also we would advise you on what you can do to make your house or your building or your business more efficient. We might specify ceiling insulation, LED lights, and basically make your house more efficient before we generate.
That's incredible. So what I'm hearing, Johannes, is that you guys don't come to a quick solution. The focus is on efficiency first and then generate power or energy as needed. Am I right?
Yes, that's right.
So Johannes, when did you start Flagship Solar, and how did you end up being the proud owner of this amazing business?
Well, it started probably way back in 2002 in Port Elizabeth when I was 25 years old.
You've just given away your age. Yeah, you realize that.
I was working in Continental Tires as a factory worker. I used my salary payslip to buy a flat with 110% bond, and I got a tenant, and then I bought another one until I had 5. And then in 2005, when I was 28 years old, I bought a small business called Mr. Handyman Maintenance with long-term contracts with property managers. And then when we only did everything, including a lot of small solar water heating and solar electric projects. And that's how we got started with solar back in 2005. So I've been doing it for solar for 19 years, but I've probably been doing it right for 12. I grew that company 500% in 5 years. And in 2010, we went completely bankrupt and lost everything, along with 1 billion other people. So I moved to Strand with my family and started over with nothing.
Wow.
I had to reach up to touch the bottom. Very humbling. And then I worked for several solar companies locally until I couldn't take working for a boss any longer. And then I started my own brand in 2019 called Flagship Solar, because everyone deserves a flagship experience.
That's such an incredible story. It's almost like your road, your journey was destined. Do you feel like that sometimes?
Yes. I think you always take you always find your destiny on the path you take to avoid it.
Okay. Yeah. And we were talking about Richard Branson and the book he published, what's it, Screw It, Let's Do It, or something to that effect, a book you referenced. How does that emanate in your work and your journey? I mean, are you a screw it, let's do it type of guy?
Yes, I'm very much a yes man, and let's go for it. Let's try a new idea. And in the book by Richard Branson, you'd read a lot about how he turned adversity into opportunity, and it kind of became a theme. And from that, I learned that you can't actually have opportunity without adversity.
The two go hand in hand.
It's something you have to leverage to your advantage, and if you try, you don't have to try very hard. You often get to a very compelling answer.
So Johannes, so you start off as with owning properties, start doing the maintenance, get involved in all sorts of things, growing an amazing business, and then fall flat on your face, calling bankruptcy in 2010. Now looking back, first of all, what made you get up again? I mean, what were you looking forward to?
I think that experience was actually very liberating, because first it taught me that I can start over, and I'm not going to starve if I lose everything. So where I might have been risk averse before, it's more like I'm going to try harder, but I'm going to try bigger things, and if I fail, it doesn't matter. I can start over, but it matters whether I try. So it doesn't matter whether I fail. And the lessons you learn through failure is sometimes the lessons you need.
That you need to learn. Right. Yeah. Okay. So solar and energy solutions has become a really overcrowded scene.
Yes.
Is that your experience as well?
There are a lot of flybys.
Yeah.
And I would say if you want to have a good experience with a solar guy or any contractor, then you should rather choose from people who have come highly recommended, and have at least a few years of experience in the field.
And you should be able to prove that. Chrissy, when we come back, I'd like to explore Johannes' thinking on renewable energy a little bit more. So we'll be back straight after this.
Can't wait. We're busy with Business Lunch with Coach Lindie, and she's talking to Johannes Jacobs from Flagship Solar. Lindie.
Johannes, before the break, you said that for anyone out there in the market looking for energy solutions, it's important to do one's homework, because you need to check on testimonials, referrals, a bit of a track record. And does this company come with high credentials? So what has been some amazing highlights that you're specifically proud of at Flagship Solar over the past 4 or 5 years?
I think it has a lot to do with the people we meet. But other highlights that we have is the deeper I get into renewable energy, the better it becomes. Normally, I get bored very quickly, but the industry changes so fast that we need to keep on adapting on our side, and I know there are some amazing things coming on the horizon. So the highlights have also been like just the people we've worked with, the companies that we've helped, and what we've learned, and how it's made the industries out there, the businesses out there, and the people's lives better by bringing very compelling and robust solutions to their lives.
Yeah, and really helping them having a quality of life that is sustainable, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. So in business, of course, there's many challenges, but in the energy sector where you find yourself, there should probably also be a whole lot of challenges. Could you name a couple that you guys are fighting daily?
I normally try not to talk too much about problems. I try to focus on solutions. But some of the challenges we are facing in the energy sector is the regulatory and the educational resources, and the requirements for that. And most of the time, if not all the time, the regulatory requirements and the educational resources that you find for renewable energy, especially in solar, is outdated by the time it starts. So if you had to write a new book about it, and it takes you a year or two to write the book, by the time the book is published, the industry's moved on and it's dated.
But I think that's the point about us and the time we live in. Surely with renewable energy, again, fluctuating. Initially, we couldn't keep up with getting enough stock into the country, and then it seemed to have plateaued a little bit. How do you, Flagship Solar, continuously differentiate yourself in the market?
I think the main point that we have is it's in our company culture, is that we focus on solving a client's problem. And if you focus on solving the client's problem and not selling them a product, then you go in with the right attitude. And you must remember, a client calls you because they have a problem. You mustn't sell them another problem. You must bring a solution to the table, even if you sell yourself out of a bigger sale. Because if you look after your customer, then you create a sustainable business model, and that's what we want. We want to create a sustainable business model where we will be able to continue to give you excellent service for many years to come, and that gives the customer value as well.
And I think, Johannes, that just it's centered to your company values, which is respect and honesty, but acting with integrity and being invested in the solution, taking hands, forming a partnership with your client.
Yes.
Of course, many years in business yourself. What has been some important lessons that you'd like to share with the many entrepreneurs out there, maybe thinking about starting a business or already have a business?
Lessons learned. There are so many.
We can be here for the whole day, right?
I think, first of all, never give up. Read and learn every day. I read so many books, including the E-Myth that you recommended to me. Biography by Richard Branson, Steve Jobs, and Elon. You can leverage any adversity into opportunity. In fact, opportunity doesn't exist without adversity.
Yeah, and if you think about it, business exists because we are solving problems out there. Otherwise, there won't be a business, right?
Yeah.
So you see yourself just in that process of, I suppose, always learning, always be creative, and then putting the next solution on the table, or engineering the next solution.
Yeah. I have got a lot of, actually a list of things I can tell you now, like always have spare capacity. That helped us, especially when we were small. Employ someone above you. That's something that was hard to do, but it made a big difference.
What do you mean, employ someone that's above you? Is that a more resourceful person, someone that knows more than you?
I think if you're an entrepreneur and you want to build a business, then you're the person who connects the dots. You're not the dots. And if you know exactly what you want to build, that doesn't mean that you're an expert at every field. Like I really suck at admin. I shouldn't touch that stuff. But there are people who are excellent at it.
Better
and
at
they enjoy it. I don't know how, but they love it. And then, like I said, solve a client's problem. That is a core value. Always use the right fool for the job.
That's quite funny.
A contractor should never be a problem that the client should solve. You are there for your client, and that's all that matters.
I heard the other day, back to employing the right staff, Johannes, and I'm sure you've also paid some school fees, is hire the best possible people you can afford, but please then don't tell them how to do the job. I mean, we often...
We actually have a saying in our business, which I got from my brother in England. Thanks, Dan. Employ the best, overpay them, and get out of their way.
Oh, lovely. Overpay them and then get out of their way. Yeah. I love that. And Dan, that's good advice.
And then someone said to me, but if you employ the best, then how can you overpay them? And then I think that's actually true.
You could.
I don't think you can pay someone if they are the best.
Absolutely, you can't, because they continue to add value, and often those people become the push or pull factor in your business, always inspiring you to ask who else, where else, what else, because business is about change and evolving and growing and always looking towards the future. Christy, when we come back, of course, can't wait to chat a little bit more with Johannes about his beautiful business called Flagship Solar.
I'm going to chat to him now. now because after the show he needs to go to the boss and tell her that she must overpay me. She can't overpay me because
you are the smartest, and she's not overpaying
she's not
you
overpaying me yet.
Nice one.
Thanks, Johannes. We're busy with Business Lunch with Coach Lindie, and she's chatting to Johannes Jacobs from Flagship Solar. Lindie, last session.
Listening to you, Johannes, it's quite evident that a core principle for you in business is to build or always be building lasting relationships. Do you agree with me?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. And I mean, that means with team, it means with your business network colleagues, with your customers. You also said that a job with Flagship Solar is never done until when?
A job with Flagship Solar isn't done until you refer your friend to me, and that is a litmus test of whether we got it right or not.
Absolutely.
If you're confident enough to refer your friend to us, then we know we've done it right.
I love that. So who's your ideal target market? Who and why? And where, I suppose?
Thanks for asking that, Lindie. We have three actual ideal target markets. The one is farms.
Okay.
Because they pay an exorbitant amount for electricity and connection fees, and that's a very easy problem to solve for us. And then the second one is commercial and industrial, because their electricity usage often starts at sunrise and ends at sunset, and then they need very little battery for an excellent result. Plus, the payback is very quick if you calculate loss of production and scrap due to power outages. And then also residential, we are very good in that space, and we also believe in taking care of the little guy. And very times the little guy grows up to be the big guy, and they're the person who owns the farm or the factory. So we always look after everyone. Within
you never
space.
know who's who in the zoo.
Everybody is somebody's somebody.
Everybody knows somebody
that knows somebody.
That knows somebody. I love that. So, Johannes, of course, being an entrepreneur, filled with courage, by your own admission, being a yes man, I think an internal optimist. What gives you hope, and why continue doing what you're doing?
There's so much hope in the world, and there's so much good in the world, and if you know where to look, you'll find it all over the place. There's so much going right, and the trend of egoistic altruism is spreading rapidly across the world and becoming the new normal.
And what does that actually mean?
It means that if your life becomes better, if my life becomes better, it is in my personal selfish best interests if other people's lives improve, because we don't live in a zero-sum game anymore. It's a positive-sum game. The more we improve each other's lives, the better everything around us becomes.
Yeah.
And that is actually a trend that is started recently in human history, and it's gaining traction all over the world, and I'm very excited about that. That gives me a lot of hope and inspiration.
So we come into this world alone, and then we get to make a difference. We get to leave an imprint, a footprint, and I think that's pretty much all aligned with this so-called, you said, egotistical motive to want to improve someone else's life, because by default the secondary advantage is I improve my life.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe being, changing the world and making it a better place is reason enough to do it. We don't need a reason like global warming or climate change to make the world a better place and to breathe fresh and clean air and have renewable energy. Making the world a better place is the reason.
Your team grown to be how many people?
We're at the moment at 8, going for 12 soon, and I'm very excited. We're also doing a Decorex show in 6 to 9 June, and we'd love for you to come and visit.
And where's the Decorex show, Johannes?
It's at CTICC in Cape Town from the 6th to the 9th of June.
Oh, lovely. So you're going to participate in that. That's fantastic. So 8, soon to be 12. So that's either one big team or 3 or 4 teams, depending on where you need it, right?
So it's installation teams and sales team and admin team, and so it's a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. And Johannes, you are the conductor, you are the captain of this amazing ship. I want to wish on you the very best for Flagship Solar. You know, I mean, it's a bit of a tongue apart here, but what an amazing philosophy, a principled business built on honesty and integrity and relationships, hope and trust. And I just love who you are and what you stand for. And I wish the very best for you and your beautiful business going forward.
Thank you so much, Lindie.
And I think, Chrissy, we should have him back in a couple of months or years, shouldn't we?
Absolutely. You know, fantastic.
Okay.
Thanks, Johannes.
So where can we get hold of Johannes? Tell us more.
Lindie, I think the easiest and most efficient will be just go to our website and log an inquiry on our web form, and we'll get back to you really soon.
And that's www.flagshipsolar.
It's not. We don't even have the www. It's just flagshipsolar.co.za.
And we'll be able to find you.
Yes.
Fabulous, easy, simple. There we go. Straight from the horse's mouth. Johannes, thank you so much.
Ja,
thank you very much, Lindie.
Ja, thanks for coming in. En Lindie, natuurlik vir jou sien ons volgende donderdag weer.
Volgende donderdag. Chrissy, as ek net ook wil sê, vir alle aspirant besigheidseienaars daar buite wat 'n bietjie vir ons wil kom kuier in die ateljee, julle weet waar om my in die hande te kry. So steek op jou hand en kom gesels in die ateljee. Dit sal lovely wees om jou storie te hoor.
Wonderlik. Dankie Lindie. Ons praat volgende week.